What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Daily Sean. Those of you who haven't been here before, my name is Sean. I do a daily video on something related to nursing. No rhyme or reason. Not gonna change. Today's topic, today's vlog. Haven't decided what topic, vlog, vlog, topic. Take your pick. Today's topic is another fan question. This is actually something that I read today, this morning. Had a new fan ask, what is my happiest moment in nursing or what is my saddest moment in nursing? I think recently I either did a video or a podcast on one of my most memorable moments. One of my happier moments. I'll defer the happiest moment to my podcast recently. For those who have not listened to that podcast, it's about a patient that recovered and returned to the ICU to thank me for the care that I gave them. That was one of the more awesome moments in my career. I read the question of saddest moments in my career or saddest moments, and I started digging a little deep in there. Started going a little deep on this one. Sad moments. I've had a lot of emotionally trying moments. Talked about it before. Your emotional bank. You make a ton of withdrawals during the day and you have to figure out a way to make a couple deposits in that emotional bank of ours. Our job becomes very difficult being able to run the spectrum of emotions in a single shift or in a single hour. Won't rehash that. If we're going to talk about saddest moments for me, bar none, my saddest moments are when I fail my patients. When they don't improve, when I fail at doing whatever it is I was supposed to do for them. Could be, and I'm not talking that I didn't make them better, or that I didn't cure them, or that they recovered from an illness or an injury. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when I've failed them as their advocate. And that can mean a lot of things to a lot of people, but ultimately it's, did I fail them speaking for them when they couldn't speak for themselves? I feel like I failed my patient when I have a patient who has been on a ventilator for 7-10 days and there's complicated family dynamics that will delay care. I'm not saying that any of these decisions are easy. I'm simply saying that at the end of the day, it's the patient who has to go through all of these procedures, all of these therapies, all of these interventions. And would that patient want whatever it is that we're deciding to do? I feel like I fail my patients when I don't speak up for them. I feel like I fail my patients when I don't have the means or the knowledge or the skills to get them through whatever devastating moment they're in. I feel great sadness when I have a patient who is circling the drain, who's slipping down the slope, and we can't seem to pull them back, whether it's an immediate quick thing or it's a drawn out days process. I feel sad when a patient codes and there was a chance of recovery. I feel greatly saddened when the patient themselves is a victim in some way. And I work in trauma, so you can only imagine some of the things I've had to deal with and see. So I feel a great sadness when victims suffer. Most of us are in this game because we think we can improve lives, we can impact lives. And when I fail to do that, that's what saddens me. That's what digs into my gut. That's what kind of drives that stake into my heart. Is that this job is equal parts science, fact-based science and medicine and good old-fashioned caring. Caring about what goes on with those patients. Giving a crap. And yep, I've talked about it. My give a shit gene is slowly but surely diminishing, but there are certain things I will always fight for. I will always fight for the patient. I will always advocate for them. There's all kinds of other crazy stuff that goes on in our profession that saddens me, but it saddens me in that moment, and then I move on. When I have failed my patient, I take it home with me for a little while. Maybe longer than I'd like to. Longer than I should. Longer than I have recommended. But I do take it home with me because we practice not only with our minds, but we practice with the proverbial heart. So we pour our heart into this. And my saddest moments are when I've poured my heart into this and I still fail my patients. How many times has it happened? More times than I'd like to admit. Will it keep happening? Damn straight. So this is another part of the nursing profession. This is another part of nursing that you have to be equipped for. If you're not emotionally equipped for the sad moments, it will break you. It will burn you. It will batter you down. Because the physical part is, yeah, it sucks and it's tough. But you can recover physically with a good amount of rest or a good amount of a vacation. You can recover physically. It's the emotional baggage, it's that emotional turmoil that if you can't come to grips with that, if you can't figure out how to deal with that in a healthy manner, it will cripple you. So you have to find a healthy outlet when dealing with the sadness. And I've given a lot of suggestions when it comes to emotional baggage, when dealing with your shit. And I think I deal with mine pretty well because 10 years later I haven't lost it. The profession hasn't lost its luster. It hasn't beaten me down. But I've also progressed in my career. Would I feel the same way if I was still a bedside nurse, grinding away the way that bedside nurses do? I don't know. It would be tough. So for those nurses out there that do this every day for 20, 30, 40 years, you know, when you get to that 40-year mark or when you've been doing it greater than 10 or 15 years, there's going to be a level of burnout that you just can't shake. So even though I joke about the burnout harpies in our profession because they've been doing it so long, you have to consider how much shit they've gone through and how much crap they've had to put up with and how much sadness they have encountered. If after you walk in their shoes for 20, 30 years, you're not a little bit battered and a little bit beaten, then you must be a superhero. Because it happens to everybody. Which is why I always talk about the newer nurses finding healthy outlets for the sadness. Talk to somebody, talk with anybody. Don't internalize it and leave it there. Don't bury it. I'm not going to go over that again. To answer the question, those are my saddest moments. And I want to thank whoever asked me that for making me mildly sad talking about this. Got to snap out of that. So you got to you got to take the bad with the good. The good outweighs the bad every single day. But there is badness, there is sadness that you better be able to deal with. What do you think about this one? What are your saddest moments? What moments do you have a hard time shaking off? We all have them. Want to hear from you. Put the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Was it great? Did you love it? Was it Did it suck? I want to hear from you. Share this with somebody. And as always, check your own pulse first.